So, what is up, everybody? I decided that I would just come on camera for a change so that you would know that I'm human. Well, after last night, you will know that I'm human after those screw ups. Wow. Well, they weren't screw ups. One was, but I had three losses last night if you weren't here, right? Because, yeah, three losses, and two of them, I would take them all over again. One, probably shouldn't take it anyway, but the second one and the third one, yeah, I take those over again. So, yeah, so I figured I'd come on camera so that you guys would know that I'm real. I mean, but if you see me on the other channel, you know I'm real. I mean, whatever. So at 6 o'clock, the market's just open. And what are we doing? Well, it's what we're always doing. And I came up with a like a thumbnail that actually matches what we're doing finally after like 11 iterations, right? So what are we doing? We're doing the setup, and then we've got one setup, two indicators. That's how we say it. One setup, two indicators. And what is the setup? It's just as you see right there, right there. So you got 1, 2, 3 candles minimum. You can have 4, 5, or 6, but minimum 3 in either direction. Doesn't matter where it's up or down, but here we're showing them going up. Right, and then a reversal. So those are the two blue candles that are pulling back, and then a continuation in the same direction as we were going before. Right, and so that's what it is. It's just run, reversal, continuation. Once that candle, the one to the far right, once that exceeds and closes above the reversal candle, that blue candle, we're going to take that and we're going to run that up. Now, when we do this, we need confirmations, and we have two indicators that help us to make that decision. One is the RSI, the other one is the MACD. And if those two align, if we get confirmation on both of those, and we have the setup in place, oh man, we're golden. We're going to take that trade, right? And so that's what we're looking for. And as long as I have that, you know what? I'm getting in. And so what do those indicators look like, or what does it look like when either the MACD or the RSI is saying no, right? Because that's what we have to look for. If the setup says yes, but either of our indicators say no, then nothing's going on. We're not going to take a trade. All the stars have to align. When they're aligned, I take the trade. And the overwhelming majority of the time, that works out. And we don't get a lot of opportunities every night. A couple of nights ago, we had a few opportunities. They were working out. Last night, hey, sometimes it just doesn't for whatever reason. But let's get to the chart, because this thing's opening up right now. We're on the third candle running up. So we got 1, 2, 3 candles, just like we saw on the thumbnail that I just showed you, right? 3 candles going up. If we get a little bit of a reversal and then a continuation, then we're going to take that once it exceeds the reversal, and we're going to take that up for a quick scalp. Now, in that reversal, we cannot have more than 3 candles or 6 candles. Let's see if we can find something back here. I'll see if I can show that to you guys again. There's one right there. Run up, pull back, and go from here up. There's another one back here, I think. We got a minute or so. So yeah, we got to run up here, roll back, and pull up and go. Run up here, pull up. That one's going to lose. So, and sometimes they're going to lose, but I'm not looking at the indicators. The indicators might say no, but I'm just showing you the setup. Run down, pull back, and continuation, go. And when you're in the trade, you realize, whoa, that pulled back again. So I can take it from here, right here at the bottom of this candle, and run that down. And so, and that's all there is, guys. If you can count to 3, you can make this trade work. If you're smarter than a 5th grader, you can make money. So, so yeah, that's what we got going on right now. Now this thing has run up into, if you look down here at the RSI, you know what? Why don't I do this? Hold on, I'm gonna move me over, because most of the action takes place on the left side of the screen. So I'll just move over. So. Yeah, so running up, we got a little bit of a reversal here, but if this thing runs back into this red line here, we'll call it the ceiling, because that's just country talk, ceiling and floor. It makes sense. We don't have to be real smart. But now we got a one and done. Look at that. Okay, so one and dones, oh boy, those are really, really tempting, So we got 52 seconds left on the candle. I haven't set, you know what, guys? I didn't set my clock. Didn't adjust my clock. You remember I told you a couple nights ago, always adjust your clock. I was setting up my camera and I didn't think about it. And now here I am and the light's already taken off. And yeah, so I'm going to try to make this one work. Let's see what we can make happen here. We got 20 something seconds left on this candle. And when it does, if it stays up there above that green line, above the reversal candle, I got to take it. And so, hey, it is what it is. So let me just try to time this thing right. I don't know if I'll get it right. This one's going to be a toughie. So we got 7 seconds left. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to jump in right there. And we're just a little bit high on it. Let's see. It's going to pull back on us, though. So let's just let it do what it's going to do. Now, whenever, it may pull back anyway, but what I'm going to do, so I'm going to pull my, whenever I get in late like this, I'll go ahead and pull my stop loss down like to where the 25 should be. Because there are times when it'll just go up and tap the 25. Looks like we're going to lose on this trade. But sometimes when it goes up, it'll just go like 25, 26 ticks and then turns around and comes back. And so you really need to, you know, if you have to pull back, you know, to to get the trade, maybe I don't get the full 25 ticks, but you know what? If I'm positive, then, you know, I'm good with that. So we're stalling out, and look, we are into support there. We were below it on this candle here, weren't we? We popped up just a little bit high. I thought I had some room. We didn't really have room there, so that was a misjudgment on my case. It's going to lose right now, so if I can get over here and close this out now. Let's go ahead and close that. A little bit shy of a full 25 tick loss. And look at that. And I think you better go on down, doggone it. All right. Okay, so I didn't lose the full 25, but probably should have gotten out a little bit earlier because it didn't look good from the start. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put an angle on this one just so that I know that don't take that trade if you're if you are not me, but I can be a little bit daring sometimes, but I'm not going to be reckless. Right, so we can do one and not do the other. I'm going to turn that red so that we know it's a loss. So I'm starting my night out with a loss. You know, I always say I don't want to start the night with, you know, trading near support or resistance, and that's just what I did. But hey, you know, I'm human, so all I got to do is make up for it. All I need is, you know, a little bit of a trade next time, and because I got out of this one short, so if I just get 25 ticks on the next one, then I'll be fine. I'm not going to worry about it. So. And I don't sweat losses. You can't sweat losses because trading is a mental thing. It's not I mean you got to get the mechanics down, sure. But trading is a mental thing. And things like, okay, let's say like last night when I had 3 losses, and I don't know when the last time I had 3 losses in one setting, but I had 3 losses. There were times when that would just like blow me away. I'd be like, wow, I don't know if I can do this. And then I'm screwed up for the next, you know, 2, 3, 4 nights, if not 2, 3, 4 weeks. Right. And so, but I had to realize I had to get to a point where I got the mechanics down, and then just based on probability, then my trades would win. And this one didn't win, but this one didn't win because I made a dumb trade, right? Because I traded right here into support. I mean, into what's it called? Into the ceiling. I have a hard time remembering resistance because I was looking down here where it pulled back. You see the yellow line pulled back there. But then when it popped up, I wasn't looking again to see how far above resistance it had gone. And I'll pull it up for you so you can see. And you can see it had gone quite a ways past resistance. So, but a lot of times one and done, so you know they're pretty good up there. So I mean, you know, so you know sometimes you take a chance, but we don't play around. We work the system because we know the system works for us. Now, of course, we have the MACD down here at the bottom, and the MACD we don't want to trade around the 0 line. That's that broad white line you see down there, and we want to trade up or go long. We want to trade up as long as we're above the 50-yard line on the RSI. That's that white line with the shade of whiteness, sort of semi-transparent, or yeah, translucent almost shading around the white line. The white line is the 50-yard line. And anywhere within that gray area, if you take a trade there, it's sort of a 50-50 that it would work. If you're outside of the gray area going up or outside of it going down, have a much better shot at winning the trade. So that's just what we're doing there. Now I have gone here for 5, 10, we're into the 11th minute. So nothing's setting up right now. So I'm going to go ahead and end this here. And what we'll do is we'll come back as the night develops. So yeah, that's what we're doing. That's who we are. Let's see how it goes. Okay, everybody. Okay, I'm pissed. Okay, so here's what happened. Okay, I'm going to move this this right angle out of the way. I went to the restroom and I came back, and this was setting up right here, right? And so I'm looking at this candle right here, and while I was away, I reset my, adjusted my camera, so not my camera, but my my date and time, so that my clock would line up with everything. But when this candle right here got to 1, I clicked, and the way I do it is at about 5 seconds, I hold the cursor down, and on the number 1, I release. So I get in exactly where I want to be. So I should have been either at the top of this candle or the bottom of this candle. But in a blink of an eye, in an instant, the market jumped from here all the way up to here, and it registered me in. You see how high? You see what that green candle is? And I said, you know what? This is. Let's take a look at that. If that hadn't happened, and I'm not blaming, I can't blame anybody, but it is what it is. I mean, that's 25 ticks. That's 25 freaking ticks, right? From the point where, I clicked to the point where after that flash, and we've talked about flashes, how the market can flash in a blink of an eye. It can do whatever, right? And it flashed all the way up here to this top of this wick up here, but it put me in 25 ticks, at 25 ticks. How about that? And so and then it just played around down here. It played around and it played around, and so it finally started coming up, and I just said, you know what, I got to get out. So that's smart. I mean, I ended up positive, but yeah, that one's gonna leave a mark. Okay, so I mean, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, but it is going to leave a mark. I'd lose sleep over if it had popped up here and then just gone down, put me in way up here where it did, and then gone down for a loss. But even still, yeah, because that's a shorty right there. Look at that. That's a shorty. That's a shorty. Let's turn it green, but it doesn't feel like a win, if I'm being honest. So there we go. So there's my second trade of the night. The first one was, I shouldn't have taken it, but I did, and I'm, what it is, we don't stress it. The second one, yeah, that one got me. It could have flashed like an instant after I clicked and given me the full 25, but they both happened, it happened simultaneously, and so yeah. There we go. Anyway, so we got to run down. We're pulling back, but I can't get in yet. I can't take a short trade until we get below the white line, the 50-yard line on the RSI, right? So I got to wait until that happens. And then at the same time, if it gets down there, I got to make sure that we don't run into the red line down here, which is support or the floor, and also make sure that we're not running into the zero line on the MACD. Okay, that is if price action continues to go down. It could get here and just turn around. It could just play around and go back up, because we are in an area where there was some back and forth action. I did take this while I was away and said, I don't see 25 ticks in there anywhere unless that's it, right? The bottom of this wick and the top of that wick, and then it played around in here a little bit. I don't know. I can leave that there and just see how it plans out. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. We'll just see what happens. Okay, so again, I won't hold you. I'm going to step away and not make this last forever, and then we'll come back when we're looking at something. Oh, by the way, if this goes right here and closes down, I'm not sure I'll take that because we're right on the 50-yard line. I need to be below it because at this point we're playing 50-50 ball. So yeah, we'll come back if something better shows up. So I just want to pop back in and tell you guys, or explain to you guys why these indicators actually are here for a reason, okay? And I've looked at them and they almost make sense, right? Okay, so this one over here, this first one, one and done. You know what? How many times this week and even last week did I say I didn't want to take or make my first trade into resistance or support, and it was a one and done and it went on to win, but I took this one and it didn't, you know, just my luck, right? And this right here, that's just a freak thing. It doesn't happen that much. You know, that it flashes up like that. You know, it might pop up a couple of ticks, but a full 25 ticks, that's unheard of. But I'm going to go ahead and make this, I'm going to change the color of this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what happened here. Okay, so I said I'm not going to take it because remember we're on the 50-50 or the 50-yard line, and the 50-yard line is playing 50-50 ball. And if you play 50-50 ball long enough, you're going to go broke. So I didn't take it, right? So I'm going to make this, I'm going to change this color to a color that, you know, someone might look at, or, you know, to a color so that when you look at it, you might think, well, you know what? I would take that trade, but Steve made it cyan color, and he did that for a reason. Why did he do it? Well, he did it because he's on the 50-yard line, right? Like I said, when you get to the 50-yard line, it could turn around and go back up. It could continue to go right through. It turned around and went back up, right? And always look at where my crosshairs are, guys. That's where my eyes are. So yeah, it comes down here. Once we get into that gray area, we don't fool with it, and I'll open that up for you a little bit so you can see. Once we get into that gray area, we don't really want to take a trade into that. Maybe if it's a one and done, because one and dones have really strong momentum, but this didn't one and done. This came right on down. It came down, and let's see, where would the entry have been? That was the entry. Was it the entry? Yeah, because you had a little white one tick candle there, and then you take that down. Now you can consider that a reason to even not take the trade because it's so small. You didn't get a pullback enough and then momentum to go through. But that's a trade that a lot of people would take if they didn't know the rules. And the rule here is no, because you're in the gray area on the 50-yard line. Does that make sense? Okay, you're in this area. You don't take a trade. Well, you can take a chance. I've seen them work out. Actually, probably more than they didn't. But I still stay away from them for the most part. But yeah, so just a word to the wise as to how you want to treat that. You know, it's going to be a judgment call on your behalf when you get to that. 50-50 is a judgment call. You know, you can say, well, I'm going to try this one, and not very many people could really blame you if you did. But if you do and it goes bad, then you knew that, you know, there was a pretty good chance that it just might not work out. Come on, love to get a blue candle right here. It was going blue there for a minute, but I just wanted to bring that to your attention, right? Don't take the trade 50-50, right? Because it's likely to turn around on the 50-yard line, because it's likely to turn around. A pretty good chance that it will. So here we go again. All right, we're pulling back, and we what do we have here? Good. All right, so let's just wait and see what happens here. We'll give this candle time to develop. We've got 40-something seconds left on it, so you know I'm not gonna make this thing last that long. I can come back if we get a continuation. Okay, and we are back. So I think last time we were talking, we were right in here, and I said I didn't want to make you wait and see what this thing is going to do, right? And I made a bad entry. I'm just going to be honest with you, but it worked out, right? Because when it reversed and then it started to go back up for this continuation, I clicked when it got to 1, but it popped back, and I was way over here, and it wasn't above the blue line here. So the entry would have been right here, right? So I ended up down here. So my 25 ticks was here instead of maybe up here somewhere. So I just started playing it, and I just pulled my stop loss up or threw it way up here, and I just followed it as much as I can. And I tried to get as much of this candle here as I can, but it popped back on me. But so yeah, so we did pretty good because that's 25 and that's 25, so that's 50, and right, and so if we bring this up here, this would be another 25. So that's like 3 trades, a little over 3 trades in one. That's a 75 tick win right there. So maybe we can make up for, you know, this crap over here, and if I can get another decent trade or 2 in tonight, I can make up for some of that nonsense that took place last night. But that's nice, you know, it's nice to get one of those finally. But it made me wait, man. I mean, as you can see, once I got in, we're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes before we got above the 25 tick, or the 25 ticks that out, you know, where my thing was, because it would be like right here, right where the break is. That's 25 ticks. So I had to wait. It popped up and pulled back, and I went, oh crap, and I just had to wait through this. And then after it closed out here, I was able to get behind it, and then I just waited and just kind of followed it up. And when this took off, I had squeezed the screen down, so it looked a lot closer than it really is. Had I thought to open the screen up, I was looking at the candles and the price action, I would have probably gotten a little bit closer, maybe got another tick or 2 out of that. But you know, I did it, and I ain't gonna sweat it. So that's where we are right now. So we got a partial win, a full loss. Didn't take this one, but between this and all of this, I'm ahead for the night. So I'll step away again. I'll let you know when something pops off, and we'll see how the night goes.